Africa is at the forefront of an evolving carbon market landscape, displaying immense potential. The Africa Carbon Market Initiative estimates that by 2030, Africa could generate up to 2,400 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year in carbon credits, which is equivalent to around 1,199,745 kilograms of coal burned, or 158,440,042 smartphones charged. However, current activities fall short of this potential, with just 7 countries accounting for 70% of credits supplied between 2016 and 2023: Kenya, Zimbabwe, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, Zambia, Malawi, and Uganda. On top of this, there is limited variety in types of carbon projects currently active in Africa, with most projects focusing on carbon credits generated from forestry or household device projects. To build a resilient market, it will be crucial to diversify these projects. Supporting the growth of the Africa carbon market landscape is integral, as it will attract international investment to address environmental challenges and support broader development efforts. More specifically, Africa hosts a quarter of global biodiversity that could benefit from increased protection and community awareness. Farmers could receive direct payment and improve soil and shade cover, leading to higher yield. Africa could benefit from increased electricity access, improved air quality from decommissioning fossil fuel solutions, and enhanced access to cooling and cold chains for preserving food and medicine. Localizing the production of renewable energy parts reduces the carbon footprint of importing these parts and promotes sustainable and industrial practices while leveraging carbon credits to cover ongoing maintenance costs. Significant health benefits could arise from switching to clean cook stove solutions. Pastoralists could benefit from direct payments for their role in managing carbon sinks. Africa could benefit from new job opportunities across the carbon market ecosystems.
So with this climate goal, where does the carbon market plays a role? The carbon markets represents an important element in achieving the climate targets by attributing a price to carbon emissions, thus internalizing the climate externality into production and consumption decisions. The carbon markets also play an important role in enhancing the climate ambition by increasing the efficiency gains and lowering the marginal cost of the abatement. The crucial potential of carbon markets and carbon pricing for incentivizing investments in technologies, infrastructure to promote a transformation to a net zero, accelerated cost-efficient emission reductions, and enhance the alignment of financial flows with the long-term goals of the Paris Agreement. The revenues that are generated through these carbon markets and carbon pricing enable the countries to finance further climate action and to support vulnerable and the low-income households in the transformation towards the net zero. So the carbon markets are not necessarily only a mitigation tool, but also it assists in terms of helping the countries in moving towards taking safeguards and measures to have a resilient, adaptive future. The carbon pricing has proven to be one of the most effective tools to unlock the potential from the private sector, companies, as well as investors. It is therefore an important part of the toolkit available for policymakers in Africa, both to achieve the current NDCs at a least cost and to encourage greater ambition in the future.
To allow the Nigerian carbon market to grow, several key actions need to be taken. The most critical factor for the growth of the Nigerian carbon market is the establishment of a comprehensive and robust framework. This framework will serve as the foundation for all carbon market activities in Nigeria, instilling confidence among both local and foreign investors, and such confidence is essential to drive the flow of capital into the market. It is also essential to build the capacity of project developers to ensure that they generate high quality and high integrity carbon credits by adopting the core carbon principles. This will not only enhance the credibility of the carbon market, but also ensure the sustainability and effectiveness of the projects. Finally, developing measurement, reporting, verification and validation, also known as MRV, and verification body, VVB, capacity within the country is crucial. This will ensure that projects are developed in a timely and cost-effective manner, further bolstering the market's efficiency and reliability. By focus on these actions, Nigeria can certainly unlock its significant carbon market potential, driving both environmental and socio-economic benefits.
Africa is far from realizing its full potential in terms of carbon markets. Barriers to realizing Africa's carbon market potential include high upfront costs for setting up projects and conducting necessary feasibility and baseline studies are significant barriers. In addition, there is a lack of expertise in developing and structuring carbon projects, including a shortage of local validation and verification bodies and lead verification auditors. Limited access to training and capacity building programs contributes to this issue. Similarly, many methodologies laid out by standards organizations are not yet well adapted to the African context, where projects are more fragmented, infrastructure is limited, and technology is less accessible. There is an urgent need to take a more localized approach. Complex regulation landscapes also hinder new project developers, with current regulations often not directly addressing carbon trading or providing mechanisms for recognizing environmental contribution made by carbon credits.
Putting a price on carbon can radically transform the economically viable activities available to communities. However, the lack of carbon project infrastructure means the onus falls on developers to do the heavy lifting to get projects off the ground. While Africa is rich in its potential to facilitate meaningful climate action, there is room for governments to regulate and grow this market. By creating legal certainty around how carbon credits can be generated and used, governments can unlock capital and fund the development of new climate technologies. Some regions are making progress on this front. For example, institutions and organisations supporting carbon initiatives have campaigned to open up West Africa to the financial and environmental benefits that carbon credits can bring. The first action that developers and governments can take is improving information disclosure around land, its use, and its potential for decarbonising activities. Ratings are more accurate when agencies like BZERA have access to publicly available information about the project area or its carbon stocks.
Credibility issues have also been raised, particularly regarding the reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation projects, which makes up 28% of all credits issued since 2016. Investigative publications have questioned the true emission reduction potentials of these projects. This highlights the importance of bodies like the Integrity Council for the Voluntary Carbon Market, the Voluntary Carbon Market Initiative, Gold Standard, Vera, and others in setting and maintaining a global standard for high-integrity carbon credits. A new era of carbon markets must focus on high integrity on both the demand and supply sides.
It is likely that REDD+ projects will constitute an important source of finance, an important source of support for communities and indigenous groups. But for that to happen, the market will need to continue on this pathway to increase integrity, social, accounting, and environmental integrity. Main market players in the voluntary carbon market are aware of these challenges and are very aware about the need to address these challenges. For otherwise, the market will not scale up. We expect that this ongoing work will result on buyers redirecting purchases into high integrity credits. We expect to see an increase in prices because of this redirection of demand. But this is an ongoing process. Needs to continue happening. And in my view, we are on the right direction of travel.
As for barriers hindering the realization of carbon markets' co-benefits, this includes intermediaries often reducing the finance reaching local communities by taking a portion of the value when selling African-sourced carbon credits. while the average price of African carbon credits has increased by approximately 80% since 2016, it still does not reflect their true value and benefits, and still has room to grow to properly compensate involved communities. Nevertheless, Africa is already home to several successful carbon offset projects. These projects not only reduce carbon emissions but also bring significant social and economic benefits to local communities. Let's look at some successful carbon market projects in Africa.
Credible Carbon is a carbon standard and a registry that covers projects across sub-Saharan Africa, tries to make them legible, credible as the name suggests, and visible to the international carbon market.
Talking about credible carbon, it's like making my smile, because this is what is making our business growing. When I think back of the cash that we get from carbon credits, wow, it was a huge amount for us. It's when we managed to buy laptops, to buy our bins, waste bins, renew bags, the recycling bags. We bought trailer, we bought a bakkie. It was a huge amount for us.
La chasse ou le braconnage qu'ils faisaient, c'était pas une activité qui les épanouissait en soi. C'est des gens qui étaient tout le temps sous une pression telle qu'ils font quelque chose de mal. Oui, à mon humble avis, c'est que le projet fait qui atténue un peu toutes ces activités illégales qui exterminent la faune. C'est entre autres le fait que le projet donne de l'emploi à la communauté. C'est-à-dire que le projet a amené une philosophie telle que si nous voulons le retour de la faune, c'est que nous devons donner de l'emploi aux jeunes, par exemple. Tels que ceux-là qui étaient des braconniers, maintenant ils sont éco-gardes. En dehors de cela, le projet appuie, par exemple, les secteurs de l'éducation, où il y a des enseignants qui reçoivent un salaire. Il y a des jeunes gens qui travaillent dans les chantiers où on construit les écoles, où on construit les hôpitaux. Donc il y a bon nombre d'emplois qui sont créés dans ce sens-là.
Re sebedisa 48 ena gase o tla fumana hore re nka kgwedi tse tharo isa kgweding tse 4 ka yona e be tla be se fedile. Dikholotso tse re kopanang le tsona ha re sebedisa gase ke hore gase e na le hore e fele nako e re phehetseng bana. Ho tloha mona re lo batla gase o fumana hore dijo di ntse di eme, bana ha ba soje, batswadi ba se ba le teng ba se ba tlotla ba lata bana. O fumana ba ema nako e telele le hona re reng gase qeta ho fihla re ngwathela bana. Jwale e nngwe hape ke ya hore gase ba tla itura haholo. Re reka ka 1,400. Jwale ena ya 48 o tla fumana hore betse re batla koloi e tla e tlisa re patala 200 kapa 250 for motho a tlisetsang gase. Molemo wa di-pressure cooker ka nnete o moholo haholo ho elelletsweng. Ya pele, ke qala ho bona hore ho a safer. Hoba hwane ne re pheha Sesotho fela, o nka o le tondumetsa ka hara pizza. Empa hana jwale tjena na ha re pheha ka pressure cooker, re na le dikgabanyana tse re methang hore na re tlameha hore re methe oli e kae, re tlameha ho metha dijo hore na e ba dijo tse kae. Ke hore beke tsena tse tharo re ntse re sebedisa di-pressure cooker ka nnete ke bona hore di re safela haholo. E nngwe e teng ke ya hore ke bone e sa je motlakase haholo. hape taba hore re ruta re bile ntse re pheya re bone e re thusa haholo ba ha o la wa kenya dijo tsa hao ka pitseng wa kwaela wa setela nako wa tsamaya o ya classe o tla betse hape o tla o shebile nako ya hore e ka nna ba dijo tsane se di lokile.